I think it's time to be completely real here. James Harden is cooked, and he's completely ruined the Clippers. During these last few games, this team has looked slow, lethargic, and downright atrocious. And maybe it's time to accept that Harden isn't the player that he used to be. Last night, he only scored 11 points, shooting a putrid 4 for 12 from the field and 1 of 7 from 3. The same player that used to get 30 points a night like it was nothing, getting to the free throw line by hooking defenders, and just straight up exploiting the game, isn't quite there anymore. And honestly, he has nobody to blame but himself. During his entire career, he's been extremely picky about who he wanted to play with, the team he wanted to play for, and it's obvious as of late he's been ring chasing. However, all of this seems to backfire because ever since joining the Clippers, arguably the most top-heavy team he's been on, he's been absolute garbage. The Clippers before Harden were 5th in offensive rating, 4th in defensive rating, and 3rd in overall net rating. But since he came to the Sunshine City, yeah, it's been terrible. And the saddest part is the obvious scapegoat will be Tyronn Lue, the championship winning head coach that had the Clippers looking just fine until Harden came. And now he'll immediately get the blame as to why such a stacked, talented team can't even get a single victory. And at this point, I don't see any coach that could fix this ship, because the Clippers traded most of their defensive depth just to get Harden in the first place. And look at the team Harden was on previously, the Philadelphia 76ers. They're now 8-1, the offense looks even more fluid under Nick Nurse, and Tyrese Maxey is having a breakout season for the ages as he just scored 50 points. Man, that's tough. And the funniest part about all this is he clearly said to the media that he had trouble going back to his old self on the 76ers. And now that he's on the Clippers, Tyronn Lue even said that he's doing too much to try and fit in. So, what is it, James? In basketball, it's only natural for a player to regress as they age, because while doing this, their weaknesses start to become more prevalent. And in James Harden's case, his weaknesses was effort and defense. Just look at this possession. You can see Harden trotting down the court, not giving a care in the world. And once he starts cutting to the basket, he commits a turnover by falling asleep. On defense, when you see him guarding on ball or in the post, you just see no effort, no energy, no footwork, just plain lazy. And just a few weeks ago, Tyronn Lue gave him a ton of compliments saying that he was a decent defender, only to make him look stupid. And you wonder why Daryl Morey didn't want to sign a dotted line. He saw the writing on the wall beforehand. At this stage of his career, Harden is just like past NBA player Adrian Dantley. He was a prolific scorer in his prime, and he was one of the top scorers in the 70s and 80s. But once he got to the Pistons, he started becoming a ball stopper, which is an absolute black hole on offense. And a lot of players on the Pistons hated playing with him. Every time he got the ball on the top of the key, everybody stopped, nobody was cutting. They were just staring at him, waiting to go ISO and score a bucket. The same thing Harden is doing right now. What's worse about all this is his teammates are growing increasingly frustrated with the situation. Kawhi Leonard last game was reportedly pissed off as he was going to the bench, and he's the last guy that you've seen get pissed off about anything. All this is spare, and it's only 9 games into the season, and Harden single-handedly ruined the Clippers' hopes of making a deep playoff run. And after watching a man play, you gotta ask yourself this.
James,
Is the man retarded? I mean,
shouldn't use that word, but sure.
Developmentally disabled.